Welcome back to the Gadget Show live right here in the Birmingham NEC. My name is Total Biscuit. I'm going to be bringing you a part of the double elimination, folks. We are through the group stages, and we're going to be bringing you NaNiwa versus Bling in a best of 3. Obviously, one of these guys is going down to the losers bracket after this particular matchup, so it should be interesting. More PvP action coming in from these guys. NaNiwa, of course, one of the best in the world. Bling, an aspiring champion, and you can hear the countdown in the background as we go into this game, and it's going to be on the crevasse to kick us off right now. Should be interesting, folks. Should be interesting. Now, I don't know if Bling is going to be able to hold up against NaNiwa, honestly. NaNiwa's 4-gateway attack is probably one of the best in the world, and pretty much everything about him is, I mean, his mechanics are astonishing in almost every respect. We'll find out, folks. We will find out, because I bring you NaNiwa in the pink trunks right here, playing Protoss right here in the crevasse. He's up to the northwest versus his opponent, Bling, in the orange trunks. He is playing Protoss as well, and he's down to the southeast. They're both these guys from the same team, Team Dignitas, so we'll find out exactly who is the best in terms of PvP right now. Bling has been kind of the dark horse of this particular tournament, and you can't really blame anyone for saying that, really, because you've got 5 international level players, and then you've got Bling, who only recently joined Dignitas after the Gamer Search. He won that tournament, so he's their newest recruit, but he's been brought in to fill some of the gaps from players who are not able to attend for whatever reason, which is unfortunate because it's also the reason we don't have any Zerg. But whatever the case, he has been doing a reasonable good job, actually. He managed to take out Select in the group stages. He's won a couple of games. He's certainly not doing as well as the other guys here, but he's holding his own, and we'll have to see just how good he is in a PvP sort of style. NaNiwa is more than capable of playing PvP, without question. He's keeping an eye on things right now, scouting out various areas, not even bothering to actually go into the base for the time being. We'll see what he decides to do. It could be 4-gate versus 4-gate. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it shouldn't really surprise you in any PvP, but especially not one with NaNiwa involved in it. A very aggressive player. Nothing wrong with that at all. Bling also quite an aggressive player. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to go into a macro game with NaNiwa. That seems like a fairly silly thing to do. But you never know. You never know how this is going to turn out. These guys have no doubt played before. However, we haven't seen them play in a tournament setting. Indeed, this is one of Bling's first tournaments. In fact, I think it's his first offline tournament since the Gamer Search. So his nerves have been showing just a little bit. He's trying to get used to playing in the LAN environment, and I don't blame him for that. Nobody should. We'll find out how well he does. 7x score going on for him. A little bit ahead of NaNiwa, not a huge deal. I think NaNiwa actually put the gateway down on 13 as opposed to 12, so that would be the reason for the short delay. No big deal one way or the other. It's impossible to say what NaNiwa is planning on doing right now, or indeed Bling. That's just the way that Protoss v Protoss is. You can have a look at the first few minutes, and either it's like, well, I'm going to put down a Forge and I'm going to cannon rush, or I'm going to put down 2 gateways and I'm going to 2-gateway Zealot rush, often from a proxy position outside of his actual base. And then that's kind of it. He is saving Chrono Boost, which is something to bear in mind. So he's now Chrono Boosted out a Stalker and is Chrono Boosting the Cybernetics core as well. I would say a 4-gateway attack is very likely right now. It really is. The thing is, Bling's also doing the same thing. So if it's 4-gate versus 4-gate, I would call it in favor of NaNiwa, but you never know, folks. You never know. Bling might pull out a few surprises. Bling driving NaNiwa's probe away, a fairly good idea. 2 more gateways coming down for Bling. The question is, NaNiwa actually is not going to 4-gate because he's going right into another assimilator right now, but Bling is almost certainly going to do just that. Will NaNiwa be able to hold that 4-gateway attack? We will find out. If anyone can do it, then NaNiwa can do it. NaNiwa pushes forward once again, keeping an eye on things. 2 more gateways coming down for NaNiwa. He actually is going for the 4th gate, but he does have an assimilator up as well. He's not mining out of it yet, though. Interesting stuff. We'll see what he decides to do. 4-gateway into Stargate is not unheard of. In fact, In Control does it quite a bit, so we'll find out. Bling, get out of there. Just leave. Go on, off you go. Excellent play. Right, now Bling, go shoot him. Go on, do something like that. Anything like that. Destructible debris got in the way of the shots, folks. That is simply the way of it. And there's 3 gateways finishing off for NaNiwa now, and they're open for Bling. The question is, what kind of position does Bling really have? NaNiwa has control of the majority of this map, so really I don't honestly see where Bling could really put this pylon, if anywhere. NaNiwa's actually gone for Twilight Counter, following that up. Also something that In Control has been known to do. In Control likes to open up with 4 gates. He just does. He builds 4 gateways, and he then goes into something. It'll either be a Twilight Cancel, a Robo, or a Stargate, and he's been known to do all three of these to great success. So it doesn't surprise me that other players in the scene are also doing that. Blink is on its way up for NaNiwa. That could be a threat for Bling. If Bling does decide to go for this 4-gateway attack, which is just not looking likely right now, he's actually going to go into a robotics facility. He's sort of petered out on that. He's got both of his gas available now as well. So, nope, no 4-gateway there. Can you really blame him? Map control in control of NaNiwa. Honestly, I don't really think that Bling could even get anywhere near. And this is the problem, because we're going to be going into a sort of macro-centric game against NaNiwa. If I were Protoss, I would be highly worried right now. Army supply and worker supply, however, are slightly in favor of Bling. It's certainly not a lost cause. I don't want to call it against Bling right now. No way. Because PvP has this tendency of not so much being a toss-up, but a lot of upsets can happen in PvP. It's a very brutal matchup, and a single misstep can change the game in a very significant manner. Scouting Pro gets annihilated very easily. NaNiwa continue with the push, and he does have that forward pylon. NaNiwa now transitioning into, by the looks of, a 4-gateway Stalker push with Blink, which works perfectly well. Force Field tries to divide it, but actually that does nothing other than blocks the Zealot out. So that's not effective right now at all. Bling with an additional warp in. He doesn't have anything to follow it up with. If his opponent, NaNiwa, has gone for that, he needs to get an Immortal out right now. He needs to get an Immortal out yesterday. He is working it right now. The thing is, NaNiwa should be able to melt it, and that's what he's looking for. Can he take the Sentry out? He should be able to snipe that off very easily. He does so. Bling's forces trying to hold the line. If that Immortal comes out, that'll be it. He needs to Chrono Boost that almost immediately. However, those Blink Stalkers are proving to be way too much for Bling right now. He's able to push him away, though. That Immortal coming out on the field is going to make a huge difference to Bling. Will Bling be able to hold it? He doesn't have any energy in those sentries now. Just throwing it all away right there on that single force field. Trying to hold him back, getting his Immortal into the field. Will he be able to do a good counter push? The thing is, NaNiwa's just going to blink away as soon as he sees that Immortal. Unless he has the number count, which he might, actually. He might take a huge amount of losses, but it's not going to make too much of a difference because he's already walking them around. There you go. Blink's one away. No damage done. It fires too slowly. Bling able to do nothing right there. NaNiwa in a great position right now, sitting on 9 Stalkers versus 4, and his economy slightly weaker than Bling, but it doesn't make too much of a difference because units lost is massively in favor of NaNiwa. Looking for the push once again. 13 Stalkers on the field. There's the Blink, and this could be the crushing blow that finishes Bling off right here. Blink cannot hold this. He doesn't have the numbers for it. 10 versus 5. Pulls the pros at the lane. Immortal comes in to try and change things around a bit, but unfortunately taken out in 3 volleys in the process. A few more Stalkers annihilated. Blink pushing him away, and he's not going to give up just yet, but he's going to concede that probe advantage if he keeps taking pressure like that. GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. And the first game goes in favor of NaNiwa. We should be going quite rapidly into the second game, folks, so do stick around. We shouldn't have to go into a break right now. Honestly, it doesn't really surprise me that it worked out in the way that it did, and the Immortal came out too late anyway. And really, the problem is when you've got Blink on the field, that Immortal isn't going to make any difference. It fires too slowly. It's going to take 1 shot, 2 shot, and then you've got an eternity to blink that Stalker all the way back. And unless you're a Platinum League player or lower, you can easily pull that off. So you need multiple Immortals really to make that work. A single Immortal will not do the job. And NaNiwa, of course, proving that his control is exceptional. Looking to try and get into the second game as rapidly as possible, folks. If we can get in immediately, we can. If not, of course, we'll have to roll a few sponsor messages. You are, of course, watching the one and only Gadget show live right here from the Birmingham NEC in the heart of the UK. With myself, Total Biscuit, we've got £5,000 on the line sponsored by Alienware for these players, and it's a very small tournament, which means that there's a very real possibility a lot of these guys are going to walk away with a large sum of money. Are you ready for more violence, ladies and gentlemen? I certainly hope so. The second matchup coming on right here, we've got the Terminus SE being the place of battle. We've got NaNiwa and Bling. Bling is already 1 game down. If he loses this one, he will be knocked down into the losers bracket of this double elimination format. I bring you NaNiwa in the pink trunks. He is playing Protoss right here to the south of the Terminus SE versus his opponent and teammate Bling, the newest addition to Team Dignitas. He is in the orange trunks and he is playing Protoss as well. Both these guys are, needless to say, in the Grand Masters League, I might add. Bling's actually fairly high up. I believe he's about 110 or whatever, so he is an exceptional player. If I was aware, everyone at this tournament is in the Grand Masters League, and it certainly shows. Unfortunately, we seem to be getting a little bit of lag. I'm hoping that's not going to affect the game too much. LAN. Yes, words that do not really resonate so well with Blizzard, and I wish that they actually did. NaNiwa was going, well, he kind of transitioned through the 4 gateway into the Blink Stalkers, which is always a possibility. When you're building 4 gates, don't assume that the 4 gate push is all that's coming. There are all sorts of options. A lot more protoss are actually building 4 gates now and then transitioning it to something else because, hey, it's nice to have the option. If you have 4 gates and your opponent has 3, then you can get aggressive. If your opponent has 4 gates and you have 4, then you'll also be able to hopefully warp in and counter. It's a good idea. Works. Does the job. NaNiwa with the scouting effort doesn't find his opponent right now. He will eventually. He's heading over to the top of the map right now. And we've also got NaNiwa with his gateway on the way. And a fairly early assimilator right here for Bling, actually. A little bit quick in comparison to NaNiwa, who held back just a little bit. Not a huge deal, admittedly. Bling having a look around and seeing what he can see. Can't spot his opponent's base just yet. He'll figure it out soon enough. Now the thing is, does Bling have anything he could really do against NaNiwa? Will he go for a 4 gate? I wouldn't blame him if he did. An actual 4 gateway push as opposed to what he did last time. The problem is that Bling was unable to pull it off last time and ended up transitioning into a robotics facility, which actually doesn't work for him. He didn't really get anything out of that whatsoever. He was unable to bring out enough Immortals to really do any damage to NaNiwa's Blink Stalker attack, and that really was it, as far as I could tell for him. So it's whether or not NaNiwa concedes the map control, I think, as to whether or not he's going to be able to execute a classic 4 gateway push. He does have the 2nd gateway on the way. However, he did get that before. Yes, he did start building that one before his cybernetics core. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like he would really want to go into that. And of course, it doesn't really make any sense to build it before that in that situation. There we go. 2 gateways up. Looking to get some Stalkers on the way. Could be transitioning through to Twilight Council, looking for 3 gateway Blink Stalker or something along those lines. We will find out. There are many possibilities at this stage of the game. It could go any way. NaNiwa continuing to chrono boost out that warp gate. Is he going to do it again, more to the point? Yes, he is. So once again, a 4 gateway possibility for NaNiwa, but we never know. We don't know what he'll transition into, assuming that he decides to do that one at all. Keeping an eye on his opponent. Another gateway coming up right now for NaNiwa. 2nd gateway, are we looking for the 3rd? Yes, we are. There we go. 3 gateways doesn't mean the pressure's coming in, but if he can gain map control, he'll certainly do it. And why would you blame him for doing that? Bling is keeping an eye out. However, his map control is not in a good state. He does have Stalkers on the way. He's already got 3 on the field. He's got another one coming out now. The 3 Stalker push is not all that effective, really. It's not been shown to be amazingly effective in a tournament environment, but it might be able to do the job because the usual push is, you see NaNiwa actually only has 1 Stalker and a Zealot. Looking for the interception. Bling might be able to grab it. They must have seen it, or did he? They're actually on patrol right now, and NaNiwa's probe going forward, it will be sniped off by Bling. I can't see any other option right now, and the question is, what will NaNiwa do? NaNiwa, wow, okay. What are you going to do with that, folks? What are you going to do with that? You're going to place it. Is he going for the pylon? Of course he is. NaNiwa actually has managed to scare Bling back into his base because NaNiwa has a pylon in the back of it. Oh, dear God. Well, that's that over, really. Or is it? You never know. Bling might be able to hold this, but it's looking fairly unlikely. A 4-Stalker pushing a warp in around the back. Pylon at the front, pylon at the rear, and volleyed and thunder. And NaNiwa annihilating Bling right here. Huge amounts of firepower being rained down on him. And Bling with very little left. He's only got a Stalker and a Zealot, pulling all the probes off the line just for the sake of it. Another warp in. Zealot's right in there. NaNiwa draws him into a trap. And Bling's going to get sliced into tiny little kibbles. That's all I can really say about that. Once that Stalker goes down, that's it for Bling. Down it goes. Sentry down as well. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, quick fake-out maneuver there by NaNiwa. And defeating his teammates soundly and with very little fanfare.